In Geneva, a new peace framework between the United States and Iran has just been signed, aimed at ending months of conflict and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Welcome back. While these agreements capture the headlines, human-speed diplomacy is losing its primary role in global security. Behind the scenes, the geopolitical landscape is being remapped for machine-speed response. Superpowers are no longer relying solely on treaties. Their focus has shifted to preparing for Q-Day, a threshold that will change how every nation protects its secrets. Q-Day is the moment quantum computers become powerful enough to break the public key cryptography used by almost every government today. To survive it, nations are building unhackable shadow digital architectures. These diplomatic ceremonies are occurring in parallel with a silent shift as nations transition their strategic defense to autonomous, machine-driven logic. We can see this transition in the Indo-Pacific. India recently elevated its strategic ties with Vietnam and formally entered Pax Silica, a US-led tech alliance. Pax Silica's goal is to secure supply chains for semiconductors and artificial intelligence, effectively isolating non-aligned states from the global tech market. To keep these networks secure, these nations are adopting quantum key distribution, or QKD, as their mandatory communication standard. QKD uses the physics of subatomic particles to transmit data. Because the act of observing a quantum particle alters the data itself, it is physically impossible for an outside party to intercept these links without being detected. These quantum links are drawing a digital border across the Indo-Pacific that overrides traditional geographical boundaries. While diplomats sign papers in Geneva, the physical reality in the Red Sea and the Gulf is being handed over to autonomous systems. Through Operation Iron Anchor, uncrewed ghost ships are being deployed to secure shipping lanes, removing human crews from the line of fire. Nearby, Israel has implemented Gideon's Eye, an AI matrix that autonomously tracks and evaluates movements along the Lebanese border in real time. Regional security is moving away from human patrols. It is now managed by AI matrices equipped with the authority to identify and track targets. The risk in this shift is that algorithms operate based on predetermined mathematical indicators. They cannot apply the critical thinking required to identify a false alarm or de-escalate a misunderstanding. This NATO table summarizes historical near catastrophes. In 1983, Soviets misinterpreted a NATO exercise as a nuclear strike. In 1995, Russian sensors mistook a Norwegian research rocket for an attack. Both times, human restraint prevented a retaliatory launch. If today's automated cyber defenses were to make a similar misinterpretation, they would trigger a unilateral response before human leadership could even review the data. Supporting this global automated network requires extensive physical infrastructure that governments are racing to control. SpaceX recently filed for regulatory approval to launch a 1 million-ton orbital AI data center to provide off-planet compute power. This map shows the Arctic Way project, a subsea cable system being laid within the Arctic Circle to ensure secure, high-speed data transmission for Norway's strategic interests. At the same time, the U.S. Commerce Department recently issued an emergency directive that globally shut down Anthropic's Fable 5 and Mythos 5 AI models. This directive blocked all foreign nationals worldwide from accessing these models, with no advance notice and no specific technical justification. By controlling subsea cables, space orbits, and enforcing global export controls, superpowers are attempting to place a chokehold on AI as the technology reaches higher levels of autonomy. We are watching the construction of an automated iron curtain, a global divide built on quantum-safe networks and autonomous cyber jurisdictions. This transition has exposed a governance gap, as no comprehensive statutory framework exists to regulate these automated systems on a global scale. Because its survival is now tied to machine-led monitoring and quantum shields, the Geneva Agreement may be remembered as one of the last purely human-controlled geopolitical treaties. Future conflicts will not be dictated by diplomats at a conference table, but by the machine logic of the infrastructure orbiting above us. While we negotiate for peace, the algorithms are already preparing for the next conflict. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more on the tech remapping our world, like and subscribe.